Hey everybody, this is Ollie D'Amico or Ponage, and here's another video of me playing Werewolf 1.24c. Now, like with most of my videos, this is not a live commentary. I've already finished this game, and I'm now commentating after the fact. You'll see me like alt-tab out of this window a few different times. I'm just like playing with my music. Now, I actually didn't get completely lucky with the start. As you saw, I got the voodoo doll, but I wasn't able to get the pirate gold, which I like to do. Anyway, since this is my fast leveling guide, or not guide, but just gameplay, and you'll actually see that in this particular game, I didn't level nearly as fast as I should have, and that's mostly because the guy that's going to be standing next to me in a little bit actually took my base, which is the one on the peninsula right here, just to my villager's left, or I guess behind it now. That's my favorite base to do power leveling. So this big boob motherfucker took my base, so I had to improvise and move to the next closest spot, which is near the fishing store. And I personally hate that base. That was my first time ever basing there, and I just thought it was absolutely atrocious. I don't know what attracts people to that base. Anyway, as you can see, I just started the first day by fishing. I sort of put my balls on the chopping block here because if I was the wolf, then I was going to have to kill this guy, and if he was the wolf, then I was going to have to run and waste time. Now, I'm not really a big fan of like clearing people's names and whatnot to say they're not wolves, but I decided to do so just because I've been making a lot of enemies recently, and I don't need anybody else getting pissed off by me. Anyway, as you can see, I've moved to this base, and I think it's absolutely stupid. I hate this base, and you'll actually see I make a very dumb mistake that sets back my leveling significantly. I accidentally destroy my warehouse shortly after. But anyway, this is the general method, alright? So, after your first day of fishing, buy as many sheep as you can and as many pigs. You want to have 6 sheep, of course, and then whatever pigs you get next are just icing on the cake. And then continue to fish. Make sure you drop your designer fishing bait. The reason for that is that you only want designer fishing bait to catch the king crabs, alright? It's not a matter of gold and value. It's just about getting the fish net ability. That's literally the only good part about fishing. Besides, you know, just fishing for the resources, which mining is better as far as consistency goes because of the different sizes of fish. Now, as you can see, after I built, or I guess bought 6 sheep and 2 swine, I maxed out my lumberjacks. And now it's going to be time to buy 6 again. Now I usually only do one full run through, so I'll let my sheep get to 225, and then I'll start culling them at 70. Alright, so I cull 70, and then I cull the sheep, or the pigs right after the sheep. I don't let the pigs get to a certain number, I just always cull them directly after my sheep. I'm not a big fan of waiting for pigs to cull. As you can see, I just accidentally destroyed my warehouse, which is going to set me back a little bit. I had to buy some lumber, and now I finally sent my dog to go kill Oberon. Alright, now that it's rebuilt, I can wait again and then buy 6 and 6 and continue to fish. This T-Samp guy lags all the time. He's Brazilian, he's terrible at the game, and so is Catnip. That's not related to this guy, just remember that. Alright, so he left, and now his little girlfriend's gonna leave too. Watch. Calling it. See? Called it. Psychic. No, but that happens every time. Whenever that guy leaves, so does Catnip. So if you're ever in a game with them, just remember they're Brazilian, they're terrible at the game, and they'll leave together. And they always base together, but they never win the game. They literally lose 100% of the time. Anyway, back to the fact. As you can see, I'm just culling as soon as my sheep get to 125. I haven't upgraded any of my windmill things yet, just because I'm trying to conserve as much gold as possible, because you are losing a ton of gold with this method. mostly because of your swine. You're breaking about even with your sheep because you're getting them to 70. You can wait for them to go to 75. But you're counting on fishing at this point just to make sure you break even. Make sure you're not losing too much gold. So I would usually have been level 25 at about halfway through this day, but since I had to choose a shitty base, and since I also destroyed my warehouse, it's going to take me until right now. So that was still a pretty fast level 25. Definitely one of my slowest, but I beat everybody else. And then you're just going to want to spend the second night focusing on building up your army. Because, having a level 25 villager, it's only effective for about the first 3 nights. But, I mean, as soon as day comes around, if the werewolf has an army before you, it doesn't matter what level your villager is, you're going to die. So this night is the most important for building an army. If the werewolf attacks you, your villager should be able to fend them off, even if your army is not there. And, yeah, that's the thing. It's just tanky enough to survive. And now I just spend my time searching for the owl items. I love them personally. They don't do anything, but well, they do a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna say they don't do anything. I'm a big brewer fan. I don't brew in any of my recent gameplay videos that I'm posting just because I'm trying to keep things simple. My fix with brewing is simply just make sure that the wandering hunter and the sutress walk through walls. That's my quick fix. But I do like to make my villagers as strong as possible, and really as fast as possible, which is why the winter owl is really the only owl item I truly cherish. And then I'll get the wolf boots of swiftness, and also, of course, the horn of Valhalla, which allows you to move incredibly fast. Now, as far as finding owl eaters go, again, this is not really related to the power leveling guide, as you can already see that I'm level 25. I do like to... What was I going to say? I like to buy the diving mask. Alright, so there are 3 ways of finding invisible units. In the past, you could do it with your dog that used to see invisible units. That's no longer the case. Now you can either buy Dust of Appearance, you can build light posts, or any tower that sees invisible units, so Enchanted Oaks, Ivory Towers, or you can just buy the diving mask, which sees invisible units. As you see when I walk through water, you see a lot of shells and sea stars that you didn't see in the past, and that's because they're invisible units and the mask reveals them. So right now it's just after you're level 25, you're going to want to focus on your villager strength because you should be passively pumping out your army. So as you can see, I have my 3 boar pelts, which is exactly what you need for the Horn of Valhalla. And then soon I'll kill my 2 wolves. There's one, and there's the second. And I will upgrade them both into the Boots of Swiftness and Horn of Valhalla, which adds an incredible amount of bonus speed. So at this point in the game, I'm literally as fast as possible, except I'm not using Adrenaline Rush. So there's nothing in the game faster than me at this point because I do have the Winter Owl, which increases movement speed, Boots of Swiftness, and Horn of Valhalla. So I'm moving as fast as possible. I don't even think the werewolf could be faster if he was maxing out sprint at this time. So, I just finish off my army. You start teching their damage upgrades, and just use this time to save your money in espionage. Who needs espionage when your villager is fast enough to just walk around and find stuff, right? So I can't actually remember how this game ends. I guess we'll see. There's only about a minute left of gameplay, I believe. So yeah, we'll just play it through. But that's the really overpowered part about Culling. It's not only the fast leveling, but as you can see, my gold is on average above 5k, and you keep this going on long enough when I don't have to buy anything, and I'll have close to 50k at a time. I'm playing games where I get 500k at the end of games. That's not unusual for me. 300k is about my average, but I mean, this is only a 20-minute game, and I think I still made a decent amount of wealth, and only now am I starting my merchant, so I could have been making even more gold, but it's not my priority. And as you can see, I have this methodology where I love to bankrupt myself. So I like to have as little gold and lumber as possible um, uh, when I don't need it, you know. I try to build my 40 archers immediately. I upgrade everything as fast as possible. And that's just, I don't want, I just don't like to have a lot of gold because there's a lot of random events that, you know, can cause you to lose your gold and lumber. So, in my opinion, it's better to just not have any than to lose it all, right? So, you will see me get bankrupt or go bankrupt a lot of times, but it's very calculated.